Hi, dear people of this planet. Bear with me because English is not my native language. Trying to do this in English to reach as many people maybe as possible, but I want you to know that I'm not a really proud person. I don't like to be in front of the camera, um, and sometimes I will look for words, but this will maybe. Uh, maybe the only video I'll ever make because I don't give a damn about algorithms or money or views or anything like that. Um, I'm here talking to you because I feel there's a big disconnection between the world that we live in today and the world we are supposed to live in my opinion. Um, I spend a lot of time in nature thinking about the basic question, um, where do I live? Where have I been born? What kind of place is this? Um, those are deep questions and need a lot of time that most people don't seem to have anymore to ask big questions and retreat, be on yourself, think about things. Everything has to be fast and um, economically make sense today. And what I've noticed is, as I've been more in nature, that the way that the animals live, we call them animals today, and we differentiate ourselves from the animals by calling ourselves human. That there is more we have in common with them than we are different. When I look at a bird, just a simple bird, I see he's working hard to provide for his family or to make a family. Um, and he's looking for food all day. He's territorial, so he fights to keep his nest safe. And he's looking for a partner. And aren't those the basic things that we also do? And after um, I uncovered that for myself, I started thinking maybe this is just the basic concept of your life, and the rest, all the rest is that keeps me usually busy is all human made or company made, um, like the phone where we give so much hours of our energy and attention to, the things we should do, go on vacations, work from 9 to 5 in a repeating job because it's efficient. Um, and the way natives used to live, I read a lot about Native Americans because it's a source of information that is not hard to, or that is hard to come by. It's those people didn't write, so it's only the last couple of generations who could share their knowledge, and it was written down by the conquerors of the land. But every time I read this information, um, it hits a part of me that that understands completely and without extra explanation. It just gets what they say because it lands on a piece of my body that is still connected to that world, the nature world. Um, and my mind is not as much because I was raised in the city, and I've learned everything, or most things I've learned at school. And when I'm at the first years of my school, first school I've been to, they learned me everything about birds and animals, and the biology and the plants, and how it's important to care for them and care for the others on this planet. And somehow, the older I became, the the disconnection became bigger and bigger and bigger. Um, and eventually, I was uh, well schooled to fit in the system we've created. But there was always a part of me not willing to go with the flow of the system. I don't know how I can put it better, but so I still uh, went to the forest and sat down and keep thinking, what are we doing here? And does it make sense? Why is my body and my um, happiness or my feeling relaxed not how do you say it, not coinciding, or not leveling with the way the community works today, the economics. So somehow there's this disconnection, and eventually I saw that, well, I've learned several things that, and I saw this connection that every time we try to create something to get rid of a part of reality, of living in in nature, that we created a new problem. So if you want to have a warm house in the winter, you have to heat the house, and you get a problem because you need a lot of energy for that. And if we want to cool the house in the summer, we also have a problem because we need something to cool it, and that costs also a lot of energy. If we want to travel faster than our legs can take us, or the horse's legs can take us, then we also have a problem. We have to make an engine of some sort, or and also that creates a problem. And it's not only in these categories that we invent things that make problems, but make our lives better for a short amount of time because it's not sustainable at all. But it's also the way we provide ourselves with food. I've learned that if we plow the ground, that we create, or we destroy this system that keeps keeps itself busy with minerals. Um, and if the grass and the plants don't have enough of these minerals of the earth, then it can provide a lot of sugar. Uh, because the life underneath the earth and above the earth have this cohesion, or how do you say, they work together. They have this contract. And if we destroy one of them, then the other is getting weaker. So if the plants don't have enough sugar, then I don't know how you call it, lice, the things that can go in your hair that are also on plants. Um, they they can eat of these plants because they cannot stand the sugar that good. So now they can eat. Uh, and the grasshopper also can't have that much sugar, or doesn't like sugar that much. So those um, those plagues that were talked about in the uh, I think it was the Exodus. They maybe it's my imagination, but maybe they came because humans start plowing the ground and destroying the ecosystem, or underneath the earth, and destroying the minerals there, or the thing that keeps the minerals there. And I saw more and more of these connections. Um, Also, the human body. Most people might feel also that there's some truth to this, because of all the chairs we have, and the couches, and the way we our body is sitting in the same position for long times, maybe watching movies or something else that keeps you away from reality. Um, and Your body starts to hurt, and you're 30 and you're not in the prime of your life, feeling that you're not in the prime of your life anymore at all, and you're getting old, and you're saying, "Oh, I'm getting old," but that's not the way it's supposed to be. And I have a chiropractor friend that is his work all day is trying to fight the the human world eventually, because he's only correcting the body every time um, that people misuse their body by leading the life that we all live today. So where do I want to go with this? Why am I sitting here? This knowledge of the natives about the simple rules about not um, taking roots out of the ground, or um, they are trying to make things sacred by um, creating things with an intention of the well, they make things while they are aware of the forces in this world, um, which they give to north, east, south, west, how we call it, um, and giving strengths or elements to that side. And um, they by doing they how do you say it, they preserve their knowledge with that way of teaching, and it's easy, basic knowledge, but it's well, if you look at the world like I do today, then you will see that um, it if you don't care for the things that humans build, then all those things will collapse and die. Our buildings or bridges, roads, everything we made, all the electronics. And why do they die if we don't keep working on them? Because it is not Earth's or the cosmos, its default settings. And it will always want to go to its default settings. And the default settings were lived in for, I don't know, thousands of years, maybe more, in the land of we call America today. And in a time span of 300 to 400 years, 1/3 of the, oh, not the planet, but the land of the planet, 1/3 has become, well, it changed so much in 300 to 400 years. If America wasn't discovered, then 1/3 of our land would still be perfectly connected to nature, with people living in it, happy. They were happy. They had there were still, small conflicts between clans and stuff. That's part of life. It's part of territory. Wolves also do that. Birds also do that. Um, and and also sometimes sicknesses that were um, well, deadly, and they died. And we solved some of those things for the short time. I mean, we but everything we solve comes with a consequence and another problem, because now we have so many people and we don't want to die anymore, because death is something scary and something we cannot cope with anymore. But it used to be an honor to die for your clan, and to sacrifice yourself for the benefits of the clan. And in doing so, you got status. So if you were brave or you worked hard for the clan, you got status. And so it was a good system, and people, mostly young people, really wanted to do something for the clan, for the old, for the sick, for the children. Um, and In the city nowadays, it's so fully packed with people. I don't even can explain what my small part is in this society. If I were missed, or if I were to die, then well, nobody really cares, and that's okay. But there's a difference there in in how you feel when you're alive, about the things you do, and how much they help the society, the impact it has on the people you love. is bigger when you're in a smaller community. So I can't help but feel now I've learned all these things and um, listened to the wisdom of the natives who are still, by the way, being um, uh, well, living in camps and missing their freedom. Um, I can't feel that the world I've grew up in the city is a sub reality of the bigger reality. It's like we've built a world, our own world, on top of the real world. And I try to connect with the real world, but there's not a lot of nature left here in the Netherlands where I live. But the little nature there is, I try to be there and connect with it because I somewhere my body is still connected to the nature because I am also part of nature. Um, and I've been to church because I like to how do you say it? I like philosophy, and I feel I can relate to a lot of many, not only church but all of the religions. They're beautiful. They make you a better person, I think, because there's a lot of selflessness in there. But they're all really old stories, and I think all the stories they're just if I look from like this helicopter view, I see these religions, um, and I can't feel but think that they're talking about the same thing. It's just different human beings trying to make sense of this world, and there's so much overlap in all these stories, also in all the myths, and also the old philosophers. They in different continents, though they didn't know each other, they eventually all those thinkers agree on the same thing that it's it's nature which well they all think that you benefit by um, uh, letting go because letting go is accepting whatever will happen in your surroundings, and all the surroundings at the time were nature. So if you can let go to whatever happens in your surroundings, you will be enlightened because, well, by letting go, just like an animal can let go if they have jaws around their neck, you make these hormones, your body make these hormones that relaxes you. So, and it takes courage and sometimes also training, repeating to do that. And with enlightenment, I don't mean you're connected to the cosmos. Well, in a certain way, you do, but more in a um, how do you say it? In a poetic way. Um, so, what to do with all this information? It's hard because I don't know. I don't know. The only thing I do know is that every individual should learn about nature and the connection with nature, because it gives you all the wisdom needed to make the right choices. And I think most of the human beings, almost everybody, maybe everybody, um, wants to do good. Most of the wars I've read about are two parties trying or thinking that they are doing good or trying to do good. Um, they're both thinking we are doing the right thing. One is thinking I'm ridding the earth of evil, and the other is they are evil for attacking us, so they must die. Nowadays, we have people so disconnected that and connected to the money, to the economical world, that they have economic reasons to kill. But it's this every time going back to nature, going back to nature, um, thinking what would nature do, what would be a natural response, with wisdom, because you can say, oh, well, killing is also natural, but um, sometimes it's not the wise thing to do. These clans, these natives, they had wise people to learn the young and energetic people what's the right way to go, a peaceful way to live most of the time. Um, you can always become a savage when a bear is attacking your family, but most of the time there's a peaceful solution which takes wisdom and courage and suffering, maybe. So, what to do with all this information again? Going back to that sentence. Um, I think it's the individual that needs to make choices, because the individual is going on trips with an airplane, damaging the world, and maybe you don't notice it, but there are a lot of animals having a hard time today or dying because the winds get stronger, the temperatures rise, and they're the first to die. And we will probably be the last to die. Maybe some cockroaches not included, but um, before we die, we will see everything that we have done to this planet. And that will be a horrible sight. I don't want that to be the future. I have a son. I don't want that to be the future. Hence why I'm making this video. Um, all these big companies, all these mighty people, they get paid by you and me. They get paid by the small individual. If the small individual doesn't step into an airplane and buy a ticket, those people working for that company won't get paid. So don't point your finger. My uncle once said, if you point a finger, there's always three pointing at yourself. Remember that. Um, there's one hard thing with coming with this, which I've lived through, and that is, if you start to make different choices than your surroundings, it doesn't feel safe on some level, because um, we are socially dependent people, and you will probably feel safest if you are the average of your surroundings, which I mean not nature, but the people surrounding you. So by making different choices than they do, maybe learning different things than they do, making different choices, that you can become a little bit disconnected from them, and that's not a pleasant thing to experience. Um, but for me, it was really the feeling I had that I am not living in a reality that coincides or that levels with my body, with me, with my also my brain, that pushed me to uncover, in my opinion, the truth of where I was born, on what kind of planet I was born, and how it worked, and um, that that pushed me to proceed on that path, even though I became more disconnected. And well, I want to find a partner, but it's also hard because most of the people in my surroundings, they don't care about the forest, or um, they're busy with their uh, with the things that that they learn to be important, also for their social status. And I really can understand that. I also understand those decisions. So they're, you know, busy with their Instagram, and they're making memories in nice looking places all across the planet, and doing all these experience things. Um, and maybe not all the people are meant to dive in this deep, and just you have these people that I admire, that can work really hard, and they're real workhorses, and they also have a very important role to play in the society. They always have played an enormous role, and they can those people can um, withstand some um, gnarly situations, which I have great respect for. I am more sensitive than that. I don't know if I could carry on with some how do you say it, when it's really cold or really hot, or extreme conditions. Some can carry extreme conditions very well. I have great respect for that, but it's still the individuals have to make the right choices. It's you who has to make the right choices. Um, and with the right choices, I mean the choices that are in harmony with the way this earth works. And in doing so, maybe you will also find harmony eventually in your life, um, or or a deep understanding of life, which also is a huge prize. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. Well, I took a bit of time to think about what I've just said and what I've maybe missed. And what I wanted to say was about the religions. Um, I wanted to say that uh, when I was starting to say that they were um, well written down in the past, well, many years ago. There's not a religion talking about the issues we face today, and they could never foresee where we are today. And what I miss in most of them, well, I haven't read them all, but um, what I miss is this connection with nature, which, in my opinion, is the embodiment of the divine or the creator, or however you might call him or her or it, or uh, um, working together of things in the cosmos. Um, and this embodiment of that, which gives us life and which cares for us, is being neglected in the biggest way. There are a lot of people working. It's a small percentage, but a lot of people working uh, to stop the flood by with a shovel. It's a huge force. This system is a huge force destroying the embodiment of the divine or the creator. And this connection between the books we read and our surroundings, the natural environment, that connection is most of the time not being made. We keep talking about this human connection with humans, and which is also important, but in politics we have this system here in the West of left and right. Um, but before we look left and right, we have to look up and down. So, and with up, I mean the force that is creating everything, and with down, I mean this place where we all grew up on, which is caring for us and combining and the elements so that there can be life here on this planet. It's um, so I miss that connection. That connection is not being made enough, in my opinion. And there are a lot of people believing in a god, or however you want to call it, but I see them walking past all these trees and plants and butterflies and birds without paying attention. They they're too busy with caring for their family, maybe, or other important things, but they miss this connection with the essence, basics of our life before even thinking about a family. And it's this connection. I think the essence will be that this connection is what will eventually, what is the has the biggest chance of succeeding in not destroying the planet completely, and um, maybe even rehabilitate it and nourish and care better for it, even though it will make you no money. I don't care about the money, not that much. I've looked at a lot of things to work on to make this place a better place, and most of it is done by um, I don't know the word, but the people who will take no payment and still work. And I think it's this connection. We must look for answers in this, in connecting again, reconnecting. We'll call it, and trying to get back, in my opinion, to the bigger reality and think past the sub reality we created, which is our economical system. I think I'll leave it at that. Um, Take some time to think, reflect, maybe try to find a place of silence, maybe in nature. Nice bird sounds on the background, and try to connect. Take time. It takes time. Try to see with clear eyes. Look at your surroundings, where you are. What are people doing? Why are they doing that? Does it make sense? Does it sustain the test of time? Or can't it go on like this forever? Eventually I came to the conclusion that there is only one system that works. There's only one system completely in harmony with nature. And that is the system, the way the cosmos works. In my opinion, the thing we call God, and which makes decisions for us that we have no control over, like when we live, when we die, how we should live for the planet to survive. Those are natural rules. We can fight so hard to escape it, but we can't. It's our doom. It's our. So accepting that is a huge step as well. There's only one system that works eventually. Only one. And it's not the one I was raised in here in the city. That's what I've concluded in all my thinking and um, I want to leave you on that note. Stay safe and work on this, work on yourself. And in doing so, you will become a better person, you will grow. That's one thing we all can do that benefits ourselves and the people around us, to grow mentally in bearing these kinds of thoughts and hopefully become in harmony with the surroundings again, the real surroundings. Right. Peace.